Sybil Veronica Connolly was a Dublin-based fashion designer who was known for creating fashion from Irish textiles, including finely pleated linen, wools such as Báinín, Limerick and Carrickmacross lace, and later for her work with brands such as Tiffany Co. Her fashion label's clients included Jacqueline Kennedy. Said to have put Irish fashion on the map, she was a member of the Big Three Irish fashion designers along with Irene Gilbert and Raymond Kenna K. Peterson, and was described by former Prime Minister Jack Lynch as a national treasure. Her activities were covered in both the fashion press and the social columns of publications such as The Hollywood Reporter. Described by Bettina Ballard as a personable milk-skinned Irish charmer, she came to the notice of Carmel Snow, the Dalkir-born editor of Harper's Bazaar. Sybil was born on the 24th of January 1921 in Morriston, Swansea. The eldest of two daughters of Evelyn Connolly, née Reynolds, and John Connolly, an insurance salesman from Waterford, Ireland. Her education came largely from her Welsh grandfather and private tutors. Her father died while she was a teenager and the family moved to Waterford, Ireland, where she spent 2 years at the local Our Lady of Mercy School, Military Road, Waterford. At 17, her interest in clothes led her to be apprenticed to a London dressmaking company run by two Irish brothers, Jim and Comerford Bradley. Here she worked for their prestigious firm of Bradley & Co., whose clients included Queen Mary. She would attend Buckingham Palace fittings where she was allowed to hold the pins. Returning to Ireland in 1940, she worked for the Dublin store Richard Allen, remaining unknown to the general public, for the next 13 years, until she replaced the French-Canadian head designer, Gaston Mallet in 1953. She was invited by Jack Clark to produce the next season's range. Here her work was spotted by American buyers. She was known for her textiles, including the crystal pleated linen that was said to take 9 yards of material for each yard of finished cloth. It is said that she received her initial training at the Grafton Academy. Her first major fashion show was held at Dunsany Castle in 1953. Photographer Richard Dormer used the house and its grounds for a shoot of her clothes, and one picture, showing model and gunning in a full-length red Kinsale cape and white crochet evening dress, made the cover of Life magazine in August 1953 under the heading Irish Invade Fashion World. The show was a huge success, thanks in part to Harper's Bazaar editor Carmel Snow. It was attended by American press and buyers, and Sybil Connolly's career took off rapidly after that, especially in the United States. She wisely capitalized on this publicity by traveling with her collection to the US later that year, where she made another lifelong friend, Eleanor Lambert, doyen of American fashion publicists. Avedon's photographs of Sybil Connolly and her fashions also ran in Harper's Bazaar of October 1953. Sybil officially launched her couture label in 1957. She was 36. Part of her success may be attributed to her flair for publicity. She was also a glamorous advert for her brand. A 1954 feature in Housewife magazine gushed, "This fairytale person has looks. Short curling dark hair. Eyes the brown of peat, and a model figure too." She was made part of the International Best Dressed List Hall of Fame in 1965. As her profile continued to rise in the United States, so did her client list, with Julie Andrews and Elizabeth Taylor wearing her clothes. Notably, Jacqueline Kennedy wore a Sybil Connolly pleated linen dress when she sat for an official Aaron Schickeler White House portrait in 1970. Many of her designs were sold, via private shows, to prominent social names such as Mellon, Rockefeller, and DuPont family members. By the time she was profiled in the Saturday Evening Post in November 1957, 3/4 of Sybil Connolly's gross earnings, then estimated at $500,000 a year, as a result of sales to the United States. She broadened her export market via a friendship with the newspaper magnate Frank Packer, with 2 heavily publicized visits to Australia in October 1954 and August 1957. In the late 1950s, she was employing around 100 women, half of them working from their own homes where they wove tweed or handmade lace. Among her assignments was to redesign habits for 3 orders of nuns, the Sisters of Mercy in the United States and 2 Irish orders. Sybil Connolly was good at reworking traditional Irish fabrics and styles, including peasant blouses, flannel petticoats and shawls, to give them contemporary appeal and glamour. She took the red flannel, traditionally used for petticoats in Connemara, and turned it into huge billowing peasant skirts. Vaughan Corrigan said her importance in the reimagination of Donegal tweed. She made one skirt out of men's linen handkerchiefs, and in 1950 for a summer dress out of striped linen tea towels, called the kitchen fugue, leading her to be praised by Bazaar as someone with an intuitively facile hand. Although there was intricate craft in her designs, prices were lower than the typical European couture label. She worked directly with the cloth, without preliminary sketches. Sybil Connolly's signature design was the dress made from pleated handkerchief linen. The first pleated handkerchief linen garment to be shown in the United States was a white evening dress called First Love.